Welcome to the Amber May Highlights, brought to you by Arizona Football League. And I am so happy to have my guest today, Keith James from YourNews.com. He is the local Phoenix area owner of YourNews.com. You need to definitely check this place out. It will give you the best news, plus you can post your own news there for free, as well as any events you got going on. What's going on in the country, and to get his take on it, since he is in the news and he is a very wise gentleman. Welcome, Keith James.
Thanks, Amber. It's good to be here. I enjoy talking to you. I like what I'm hearing when I talk to you.
Awesome. You know, I want people to check out this documentary online, From Freedom to Fascism. I've seen that twice, actually, and they stipulate, they talk about in there that there is no law that anyone has to pay income tax. They say that the U.S. Supreme Court in the 1930s declared income tax as profit that a company made, but not between wages and labor. So I want you guys to check that out, because if that's true, like they say, then people don't need to be, right. There's no law to be broken, yet people are getting punished.
And you have to be very careful about that. When the Constitution was ratified 11 years after the Declaration of Independence, that's the other thing. People don't realize it took that long to get our Constitution going. What they're doing in Iraq right now is amazingly fast compared to the United States. But there is a clause in there for the collection of taxes and what they can be, and it's been modified several times, and you could make a case, and it has been made very many times, that it's a voluntary system. And everybody that has fought that case has lost, and many of those people ended up spending time in jail. Well, now all those people, all they have to do is don't even make that case. Just say, hey, little hiccup. Honest mistake.
Didn't mean to.
Honest mistake. Sorry. Just don't penalize me. And what's the guy who runs the IRS now, the head of the Treasury, going to say? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, no, I'm going to punish you, but I'm better, so I'm not getting punished.
Right.
He loses that argument.
He sure does.
And that's the one thing. And this is the other thing, too, is, there's people in the administration right now that say that Timothy Geithner is the only person on earth capable of being our Secretary of Treasury and leading us out of this, demise that we're in. He doesn't need to. If he really is the only person that has that talent and skill, he does not need to be the Secretary of Treasury to give advice to President Obama.
He sure doesn't.
He can call him up on his BlackBerry.
Exactly.
And just,
or email
text him, hey, Brock, let's give another $350 billion out to people that we don't know where it's going and what they're doing with it.
Exactly.
Good advice.
Exactly.
Let's do it again. It's very frightening.
I want to encourage all my listeners to really pay attention to how much they pay in taxes. It might be a kind of a fun/scary thing to do, is add up all your taxes from that they take out of your check every 2 weeks or so whenever you get paid. So add all those taxes up. Then every time you buy anything, add that tax up, plus all your bills, add that tax up. And if you go on vacation, you'll realize you get double tax, because there's also luxury tax. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So on top of the hospitality tax and the city and state tax, there's a luxury tax.
There's a gas tax and a cigarette tax.
Exactly.
And every time you buy beer or a nice new bottle of Jack Daniels,
there's a tax. And every time you renew your car, there's a tax. And you know what dawned on me this year is we don't have the right to own property in the U.S. It's just leased from the government, because if you don't pay your property tax, it gets taken from you. Doesn't matter that you spent $250,000 on your home or $500,000, it gets taken from you.
Right. If you don't pay your taxes, your real estate taxes, some states have those and some don't. But one way or another, they're all collecting taxes.
Sure are.
And now you're seeing that they're not collecting enough, despite all the money you just talked about. And if you add it all up, Amber, it's frightening. It's around 60% of our money is taxed away from us. And it's all blind. We don't pay any attention to it. Everyone says, oh, no, I'm in the 28% tax bracket. No, you're not. You're 60 and up.
It's because they nickel and dime you.
And they take it in all different ways. And all of that money goes in there. And yet, how are we $1.6 billion in debt in the state of Arizona after our treasurer was pointing this out a year ago, adamantly fighting in the media, saying, no, we're in trouble here, we got to address it. And our ex-governor saying, oh, you're just a negative person, you don't know what, and now it all came true.
To hear this show in its entirety, log on to azfl.com, look for the banner, Amazing Performances, and you'll find the link to the Amber May Show. Make sure you check out the blogs, because in there's a link for the podcast. We'll see you next week.